Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Society Now. My name is Kira Laws, and you can follow me on Instagram at The Modern Day Cindy. That's Cindy with an I, not a Y. And we're bringing you Society Now, a show that endeavors to bring you riveting content that incites, inspires, and invokes hopefully dope conversations between you and your people, your friends, your co-workers, to talk about things that are happening not just in your community but in the streets and around the globe. I'm here today with my co-host to my left.
Hey, what's going on? It's your man, Kayla Laws, a.k.a. Senor Wapo. Do me a favor. Follow me at Senor Wapo. That's SENORGUAPO713. We are rounding out the year of 2000, and the Gregorian year of 2018.
Well, tell people what a Gregorian year is, because we're going to hit them with a lot of facts today.
Yeah. We're going to dig into some things today and kind of show off a little bit that we got a little intellect, just a little bit.
We might have studied, and we might have went to school and got maybe 1 or 2 degrees. Maybe.
Sally and May is really knocking on that door.
Navi and Int.
and Nail and Net. You understand what I'm saying?
All the people. Get out of our pockets, please.
Please get out of my pocket. But
oh my.
The Gregorian calendar, for those of you who don't know, is the Greek calendar.
Okay.
And so the Western calendar, the 12 months, historically there have been a number of different civilizations professing their loyalty to a number of different deities, right?
Uh-huh.
And so the Western calendar is based upon the Greek calendar that started in January and ends in December. Each month is named after a certain god. I don't remember all the gods. I remember Janus for January.
Okay.
And so they're named after either a god and or like a kind of have a Latin root for a number or something like that.
Okay.
And the days are the same way.
Okay.
The Gregorian calendar has Sunday, which was worship to the sun
god.
You know
right? For sure.
Stuff like that. And so we in America operate on the Gregorian calendar. So. The Jews have their own calendar. The Hebrews have their own calendar. The Chinese have their own calendar. Koreans have their own calendar, etc. But 2018 is the Gregorian calendar, and that's actually the calendar that's most used in business as well, since since our country, these United States, right now, divided states of America. We are the biggest consumers in the world, even though we're like 14th, 18th in population, but we're the number one consumer. So
18th in population,
something like like total. No, I'm lying. We're higher than that.
Okay.
Anyway, we're still the largest consumer. So they said, well, you know what?
We'll follow
we're gonna follow them because they the ones spending all the money, keeping the world's economy going.
That's why they call us a superpower.
Yeah, we are the superpower.
We are the superpower because of what you just mentioned. And I think it's interesting because as we come to the end of the year, we always hear about, as the year ends, we always hear about everyone looking forward to the new year. Everyone's looking forward to the new year. I know I'm looking forward to the new year. I don't know about you, but 2018 was
fun.
Hella fun. Crazy.
And I use that facetiously and with
finger
quotes, fun.
I mean,
I can't see me look at my eyes. Roll them.
Roll them. Listen, and then people don't understand, like, this year, well, I think this year was just a testament to see, like, if you can make it to the end, like, literally, you run this race to the end, because people always talk about, next year I'm killing it, next year I'm smashing it, but I have seen so many people on my timeline talk about how 2018, they went into a fight with 2018. They got whooped. They felt they got knocked down. They felt like they barely making it. They felt like they was fighting Rocky and whatnot. So, but we're here. We're in the last week, official full week, and going into the last official full weekend of 2018.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
I'm excited, man. Again, it was challenging for a lot of people that we know specifically. We had our ups and downs, our ebbs and flows, even in business ourselves. The sphere has had its ups and downs, but I think that people are they kind of have a refreshed and renewed sense of hope going into the new year, simply because it's another opportunity to figure things out.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. 2018 may not have gone your way.
Mm-hmm.
Some things may have fallen through the cracks. You may have lost some loved ones, right? You may have lost some money. Some relationships may have dissolved. You may have experienced pain. But people typically look at and say, okay, you know what, next year I'm not going through that. I'm not dealing with it. I have a resolve. So I like that part of the year.
Yeah, I think it really proves like your resiliency.
Yeah.
And your hope for the future. I think for me, it's like definitely I'm very hopeful for not just 2019. I'm hopeful for tomorrow. I'm hoping for the next. I'm hoping for the next few minutes. Like, I'm hoping that 2018 is going to surprise me with something amazing that I don't have to wait till 2019 for. That 18 is just going to come in clutch at the very end. So I'm excited about that. So New Year's resolutions, everybody's like, I've seen like 2 or 3 people having envisioning parties toward the end of the year. People are talking about, let's get together. Let's talk about what we hoping to put on our vision board for the new year. But let's talk about, where did the New Year's resolutions come from?
Yeah, let's dig into that. That's some interesting stuff.
People talk about the New Year's resolution. I heard that, well, of course, it's most common here in the Western Hemisphere, right? Mm-hmm. But it does have some Eastern roots. Okay. So, from my understanding, the Babylonians first it started with the Babylonians, and they used to make promises to their gods at the start of each year that they would return borrowed objects and pay their debts. So that's where it started for that particular civilization. Yeah. Then we move into the Romans, right? And the Romans began each year by making promises to the god Janus, which is January, for whom the month January is named. They would make promises about the year there. Then in the medieval eras, the knights took the peacock vow. I think that's interesting. A peacock vow at the end of the Christmas season each year to reaffirm their commitment to chivalry. Interesting. Now we have a little local peacock that lives in our neighborhood and comes out and flocks and spreads their wings. Spreads their feathers. Did you know the peacocks with the beautiful feathers are actually male and not female?
Yep, that's the male.
Isn't that interesting?
That's how they try to impress
chivalrous.
The female. Yeah, try to impress the female.
Yeah. Okay.
Always trying to impress y'all with something shiny.
With something, and listen, we'll get back to that conversation. And then, of course, we have the Christian community, right, that they prepare for the year ahead by celebrating what they call Watch Night Service. They pray at the end of the year, and they also make resolutions to be better persons in the new year. Many times the resolutions may be about their walk in their faith walk. Sometimes it's about their not necessarily their faith walk, but just their personal being all around, professionally, some people for prosperity. But whatever that looks like, I think that people actually do have a lot of hope for the new year. And it's funny that, we see the New Year for Judaism actually is not in December. No. The New Year is actually in September. Yep. And Rosh Hashanah and all things like that. So, depending on what you believe, your New Year might not actually fall on the Gregorian calendar. Yeah, yep. If you are a person of Jewish belief, you actually have probably in the 3rd or 4th month of your new year.
Yeah, you're rounding out that first quarter if you look at the Jewish New Year. But even if you look at the Hebrew New Year with the calendar of Enoch, you're rounding out the I want to say the 3rd quarter of the year. So it's a very interesting topic, especially as it relates to beliefs. I think that understanding the genesis of these types of things really kind of can give you a sense of purpose, can give you a sense of connectivity, right, to your beliefs. Because after all, who are we but people that have a certain set of beliefs? And many times around the world, across cultures, languages, we're connected to a deity. We're connected to a value system. We're connected eschatologically to.
Here's another one. Please tell people what that means. You cannot throw out these SAT 1,500 point words. come on,
No,
Jeopardy.
it means connected to a higher power, right?
Okay.
So like escalator, going up and down,
Okay.
eschatological, right?
Eschatological.
Right. It's the Latin
I feel
root
like we
means
should
to go
put
up.
letters up.
Right.
At the bottom.
The
We're
Latin
gonna
root
work on
means
that.
to go up or down, but knowing where this kind of stuff come from, I think is a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
In terms of regardless of what you believe in, what higher power and or deity you believe in, it's a powerful tool for identity because at the end of the day, we all have the spirit of the creator, of the maker. You and I believe in the God of the Bible, right? Known as Yahweh, right?
Yes.
Known as Yahushua, right? Known as Elohim or El Shaddai,
Right.
And so knowing where it comes from, Watch Night was an integral part of our upbringing, and even the first half of our marriage. We spent the new year in church worshiping, really kind of washing off that old whatever just happened, right? And looking
off.
for the new. And I think it's good, man. Even when you talk about in medieval times with the chivalry thing, right? That's pretty cool because knights were known to be men of culture, men of status, men of stature.
And what do they do, though? I mean, to keep that status and culture, they probably did what we're talking about next. Is that they probably knew how to keep their finances in order.
Listen, and they were blessed with a nice gift, too. They were blessed with a nice gift when they became a knight. A nice little purse, as we say.
A purse, because they want a purse.
As we say in Dallas, a purse. But maybe you need to make sure your purse is in order.
Evaluate your purse.
Evaluate it. Well, you can contact Houston Housewives of Finance because they're sponsoring this portion of the show. Did you know that only 4 states in the U.S. offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings, right? Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Don't forget to ask how you can participate in a complimentary, that means free, financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
Yes.
Cha-ching.
Yes. Cha-ching.
You dig?
Bling. I wish
Bling.
I had like a...
Like we need to like make it, bring some, next time we need to bring some Monopoly money and to make it rain
or some coins or something.
Some coinage, right,
like
right.
a little...
Don't bring no real coins. I might jump across this table. I need some.
I'm not going to do it. Okay, so we were talking about New Year's and how it started. Now, for everybody that makes resolutions, I did some research and I wanted to figure out how do people keep a resolution.
I love it.
Because,
it's hard.
It's hard, and I think it's hard because of how people put them out there. I mean, people are very much. Well, let's get into the list. Because I think this is good. So there's 10 sure ways to keep your New Year's resolution. I found this on a psychological website because it has a lot to do with how you think, right? How do you think about your life? How you think about?
Do I need to get the couch?
How you think about your life? How do you think about the world around you?
Okay.
And so it's good to kind of figure out how to do this. So number one, so the first way is you have to keep your resolution simple.
The KISS method, right?
Keep it simple, students. I'm not going to call you stupid.
Yeah.
Students. So keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
So sometimes people find themselves aiming and overshooting for a goal. It's even like working out, right? So you know that your goal really is you really want to be 50 pounds lighter, but you're not going to lose 50 pounds in a month. You're just not going to.
Not healthily.
Not healthily unless you are super sick.
Right.
Right. So ideally, you want to keep the goal something that's attainable, that once you get it, you can keep pushing forward. So if going with the weight loss thing, right? If your goal is to lose 50 pounds overall, maybe your goal should be 2 pounds a week. And if you go over 2 pounds a week, at least it's a win. It's a win,
it's an
right?
Even bigger win,
but
right.
It's easier to do 2 pounds a week and look at success than versus trying to say I need to lose 5 pounds this week, because 5 pounds is just not. Any doctor will tell you 5 pounds is just not a healthy goal, right? You just it takes too much morphing your body and your habits all at once to do that. So keep the goals simple. Keep them something that really is attainable. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're unable to achieve that goal. It just means that you're starting where you can actually see success. You want to be able to see your successes, right?
Yeah.
So if the
Because it motivates you.
It motivates you. But if you aim too high right out the bat, you may not see it, and you might get discouraged, and then you back off of it, and then again, another resolution not fulfilled, right? So that's number one. Number two, choose carefully what you're going to go after. What does that mean? What does that mean? Mean that you need to concentrate on those things that will have the greatest impact on your happiness.
I love that.
The things that have the greatest impact on your happiness, and that may be things that, like, again, things that you can automatically see. So maybe it could be you need to spend more time with family members. Maybe it could be looking for a new job. It could be a lot of different things, but you need to focus on the things that will impact your happiness. Not necessarily that's going to be something for everyone else, maybe more so for you.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a selfish thing.
Yeah, and I want to be selfish for a second and talk to the people that hang out with us every week.
Be selfish.
And that's our Facebook Live family. We ask that you subscribe to our show on all the major platforms, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. You can share this Facebook Live post and the entire show with your family and friends. And guess what? You can donate to our mission to bring enriched and inspiring content each and every week. You can donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. Now, for the month of December, the Sphere has decided to help support the Hungerthon initiative to help end hunger in America and around the globe. Go to www.thesphere.tv/Hungerthon to donate today. I love talking about these goals. I love talking about how impactful it is, and how there are ways to really maximize us being successful at achieving them. The first one being make sure it's simple, make sure it's achievable. But secondly, the second one is very, very powerful, and the essence of it is making sure that you're choosing a goal that has the most impact on you as a person, and because you'll be a lot more and I'm guessing it's because, and I didn't read the article, but you'll be a lot more connected to it, right?
Kira? For sure. And then also it talks about being realistic, and that goes back to the first one, keeping your resolution simple, but being realistic. Like, don't aim too high and ignore reality. Consider your previous experience with resolutions. What led to failure then? So be realistic. Is it time? Is it income? Like, don't aim to, I'm gonna buy a Bentley this year if you know you don't have that Bentley income and you're not in a position to get a Bentley. Like, let's be realistic. Where am I at? It may be that you resolve to lose too much weight. That's an example. Or save an unrealistic amount of money. Like, that, for instance, you're working at the job that you have, and your job is only $50K a year, but you're trying to save $2,500 a month. Well, how much are you bringing home? So you have to really look at where you are. Be realistic about your goals. And then the fourth thing is create bite-sized portions. That means break down the goals to more manageable chunks. And that's like SMART goals, right? Mm-hmm. So if your overall goal is to, at the end of the year, have a savings account with maybe $3,000 in it, then you might need to do a monthly thing. Look at it per month. Okay, well, how much can I save per month? How much money can I actually put back? Maybe even pull out your bank statements from the year before and say, okay, what was I spending last year in the month of January, February, and March? How can I cut back on that? Where can I save the most money? Maybe I need to go out less. Maybe I need to stop eating out so much. Maybe I can, if I do that and I tally this up, maybe I can save $200 this month, and maybe next month. So you kind of make a goal overall, but kind of manage it monthly, or maybe even weekly to manageable chunks. Another thing it says, number 5, it says plan a time frame. And of course, going back to making the time frame realistic, but plan a time frame. In fact, the time frame has to be motivation, right? So it has to be, I need to see some progress on what I'm doing. So for instance, back to my create bite-sized portions that are manageable. Also plan a time frame that's also within that. So if my overall goal is to save $3,000, then I need to try to maybe save $250 this month or whatever. Then maybe weekly I need to check on, see how I'm spending my money, and say, okay, give myself something that I can check in and say, that's a good job. I actually saved $25 this week by not hanging out with the girls at happy hour.
I think that time frame thing is really powerful, really strong, because think about it from an educational standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. You and I, we've been blessed to be able to go into the number of different schools, and now we teach for a living. And I've noticed with myself and even with our students, if you don't give a deadline, if you don't give a time frame for something to get done, then they push it to the last minute, right? I remember my first couple semesters, I would give my students work, and I would just leave it all open and say just finish it by, I don't know, November, the Friday before Thanksgiving holiday.
That's chaotic.
And then they would all try to do it 3 days before Thanksgiving holiday.
It'd be a mess.
It'd be a mess. Horrible quality, not turned in correctly because I didn't give them that time. I didn't, as an instructor, didn't give them that time frame.
Why didn't you though?
I was trying to be like, you don't have to.
Cool professor.
Well, not even that. It's just that I'm not really pressed about it. So just get it in when you get it in. Just get it in by this date. When I realized, no, that time frame provides structure.
I would say they need structure.
People
need structure. People need to know what's the deliverable, what's the expectation, and when do you need it by. Because at that point, they can gauge, and you can actually assess what their personality type is, right? So even if I give you this deadline and you still are missing the deadline, and I gave it to you a month before or 6 weeks before, that lets me know that you need some help with your planning. You're not good with strategy.
You're a procrastinator.
Right. It lets you know what type of person you're dealing with, and it also helps you, as an instructor, be able to assess who is actually serious about their
100% assessment.
Serious about their core work when they start talking about their grades at the end. So, of course, back to this list, for sure, you want to make sure you plan a time frame because it also helps you be self-aware and check yourself. Like, okay, I said I was going to do this by blank date. But I didn't do it by blank date, so I need to be real with myself. This is not my strong suit, right? So I might need to recruit more people to help me,
or I might need to extend the time because I can get it done, but it just wasn't a realistic time frame for me to get it done.
That's a good point. So it may be that the time frame wasn't realistic. Maybe you didn't check your calendar. Maybe you had too many competing obligations, interests, priorities, or maybe not in priorities, but just interests. Because everything that's on your calendar is not a priority.
That's a different show.
Listen. We could talk about that. Listen, interest and priorities are two different things, people. And listen, oh Lord, I can talk about that all day. Okay, so number 6.
I love this one.
Make notes.
Man, look. If y'all could see the notes in our phones.
Make notes, and it's not a bad thing to make notes. I know when we first really started getting into this life that we live right now, I was really adamant like we need to start using these phones as they smart and they need to help us. Like, put things on your calendar, make the notes, send voice notes to yourself,
create the reminders.
Yeah. I mean, enlist people that you need to help you with the notes. Like, okay, I need to make a note that I need to call so they can know what, I mean? Like, you have to make notes. It's funny. I just saw the stand up for Ellen, right? And she talked about how she hates going to restaurants and waiters try to remember the order. It was the funniest thing. But I get it because I'm like, in your head, you're like, you're going to remember everything I just said.
It's 9 people at this table.
It's the same thing with notes. You're going to remember everything that was just said. You can't remember everything. Your mind is not meant for you to. I mean, there's some people that have a mind that can remember commercials and advertisements verbatim. And some of us actually have to make notes. And then I have file 13 stuff. I will shred something in my mind in a minute.
I don't need that, so it's gone. But another thing about the making notes part of it that's really, really powerful is it helps you check yourself on the way, right?
Sure.
Because you say, okay, I made this note about this goal, about this resolution, and let's change the vernacular from resolution to goal. This goal that I want to achieve, and the notes that I look at. Okay. Let's go back to time. Gosh, I didn't get my notes said, well, I didn't get the goal before. I didn't get that done in the time frame that I needed. And I saw it in my notes. So now I can say, okay, let me adjust these next 30 days to make it 45 days or whatever the case may be. But notes help you calculate where you are, your trajectory, your traction, the kind of plan that you're making helps calculate where you are on that journey towards your goal.
And I want to even say that because you said something about time, going back to time. I thought about this too. Sometimes in our goal setting, resolution, we have to actually adjust our whole process of doing things.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we try to take
drawing board,
right. Sometimes we try to do something new, achieve something new, doing it the old way. You can't do that. If you usually get up at 8, you might have to get up at 7. You might have to push yourself to get here. And that time, adjusting for time and making notes to yourself about that is also something that's really important because if you don't make those adjustments, more likely than not, unless you just was, screwing off your time the whole time anyway. You have more than enough time, but most likely you probably need to adjust your time.
Let me take a personal pleasure and read this number 7 because I need you to hear it and not read it. I need my wife, the modern day Cindy, that's Cindy with an I, not a Y, to hear this one. Okay. I'm taking a personal husband privilege right now, and this number 7, and I like the fact that it's number 7. I think that's prophetic.
Lucky number 7.
It ain't lucky. I think it's prophetic.
Blessed number 7.
That is.
Come on,
completion. Treat yourself. Again, I said one more time. Treat yourself. The third time for the Holy Ghost. Treat yourself when making
so
a plan.
Many comments right now.
A vital feature should be the rewards and treats you would give yourself at those all-important milestones. But be warned, don't fall into the trap of putting your goal in danger. It's too easy for a dieter to say, I've been so good, I deserve a few candy bars.
No, that's ridiculous.
Or a saver to throw caution to the wind with a new purchase. Or one slip and it could be all over. So treat yourself, but be wise in your sugary snacks, in your treats.
Well, I'm good with treating myself. Let me tell you why. Case in point. When I was in law school,
me.
When I was in
law school for me, so.
But I'm gonna tell you. But but I'm gonna share with the world. I am very disciplined. I am a very disciplined person, and so I am a goal setter by nature. I think my family made me this way, and so by nature, I really do. When I have a goal, I crush it. You know what I mean? I'm like, in my mind, I crush it. But until I see the finish line,
toot that horn.
And but if I don't see the finish line, I'm not going to sit there and act like I crushed it. That's just not how I work. But before we get into that, let me tell you what y'all need to know about, though. Because this right here, listen.
It makes me smile.
It does make me smile. I want to talk more about it. And so for that reason, this portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built on a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continued education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680. Again, the number is 713-789-8680. Elite Dental Wellness.
Bling.
Bling.
So finish telling us about. I can't even talk. Finish telling us about. I know.
Fin.
You treated yourself in college after law school.
Okay. Well, with my life, I treat myself. Let's be clear. I'm not a person that isn't. I splurge, but I don't brag, and I don't overindulge in a sense of like when I get stuff, I get it because I feel like that's what I want, but I don't get it so I can show it off per se. I get it because I want it. And so for me in law school, I studied really hard. I think it was really providential that I did this because I went through undergrad in just a few years, and I went straight into law school in just a few years. And when I got out, all my friends were still in school, and I studied, I passed the bar. But before I took the bar, I was like, I'm going to, do something for myself. So I bought myself, I think three different things. I bought myself a Rolex. I bought myself a bracelet, or some Tiffany jewelry or whatever, but I had it all boxed, wrapped, and with a bow on it. I did not open it up until I got my bar results, until I finished studying the exam. And for me, that was my gift to me. Now, I have done that in other parts of my life. From that point, I might not have wrapped it or put a bow on it, but I feel like I don't, I just don't go and just scoop stuff up. I just feel like, I have to feel like it's an earned gift because I know that money really does not grow on trees, people. So sometimes when we overdo it and we think that we have a money tree in our backyard, you just buy stuff because you feel like because it's Tuesday and you really want it, and you just break the tag off and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't feel like there's value in that, or you don't appreciate it. So for me, I am probably a little bit more slower when it comes to treating. But the things that I do like, I treat myself with, which is trips. I like trips. I do. I haven't been able to take a good one in a long time, but I like trips. I love a trip. My indulgence is getting on a plane. If I can get on a plane and go to a hotel and check in and have an experience.
So we go.
That's to me right now is amazing. It doesn't have to be a beach, just an experience. I like going to the airport. I know that's crazy, but I like it.
I'm telling you right now. I ain't buying it.
Number 8, receive support. And this is important. This is important.
Because it don't sound like I support you.
This is important. If anybody's listening, get you a supportive person in your life because it is necessary. When you have a goal or a resolution, then you need to have people around you that support you. And I mean, seriously, and that could look like maybe like even when you have, when you temporarily fall off of your goals or your pathway to a goal, you need someone to help you get back on the wagon. People that can give you some constructive criticism that will build you up and not break you. People that will check on you just randomly, not that because you fell off the wagon, just to see if you need anything. Sometimes you
shout
need
out to Stephen Payne, man. He just did that. My
That's
good friend
what's
of
up.
mine. He does that.
And you
all the time.
I mean,
Just
some
to check
people that
up on
just
you.
encourage you, some people that can tell that you're kind of like not focused and be like, hey, you still have to believe in the vision, even if it seems like it's hard coming. Like, I think we don't have, I'm big on this community idea. We don't have enough people that are willing to rally around for the sake of community, to say, hey, I know this was your goal. Just because you don't have 1, 2, 3 doesn't mean you can't get to ABC. So I think that having people around you to support you, whatever fashion that works, would help. Now, number 9, it's important. Just don't give up.
Come on, man.
Just
Say
don't
that
give
again.
up. Every day is a new day to start fresh, right? You don't give up. Grace and mercy is new every day, but every day is a new day. Just don't give up.
You mentioned Ellen
DeGeneres.
I know why, right? 10 minutes
Hilarious.
ago. Hilarious. But she played. She was the voiceover actress for this character named Dory.
Finding Nemo.
In Finding Nemo, and Dory had this famous phrase: "Just keep swimming, just keep swimming." Just keep swimming. Just keep going. Like that's what she would say because they were lost. And she said, "But I just got to keep swimming. I just got to keep going. Eventually, I'm gonna find my way. I got to keep going. I got to keep swimming."
So how do you feel about that?
I know. And so and so you just got to keep swimming, man. Sometimes you may not reach the marker, right? So when I was running track, I ran the 1500. Well, it's one of the races that I had to run. When I was a decathlete, and one of the 10 events that you have to compete in is the 1500s, and that's 3 3/4 laps. And so each lap you wanted to hit at a certain speed
right.
or a certain second marker, right? To be on track to finish at whatever time you want, what your goal was. But sometimes you didn't hit it, but you just had to keep running though. You had to keep running to finish the race, right? So you got to keep going. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
And I mean, I think that I want to say shout out to social media, specifically those platforms that allow people to get motivational, give you quotes and stuff like that. I mean, I don't necessarily tweet, but I am on the gram and on the Instagram. Anytime you can get a nice little motivational something. And it's really important that you keep, I guess, as part of that, don't give up, make sure that what you're looking at, what your eyes are attuned to, what your ears are listening to, or eyes focused and your ears are attuned to are motivational. That helps you build toward what your goals is. Maybe have it all around you. Maybe, have music that, inspires you to get there, because everyone's motivators are different, right? So just don't give up.
Yeah. Use your affirmations and your confessions. Read your books. Talk to your folks. Listen to your podcasts. Get you some mentors, right? Participate in study, like all kind of different things to make sure that you are replenished with the things you need to go forward.
I have one. I mean, this is the last one, but this is important.
Yeah,
If I didn't take number 7 as treat yourself as my one, I took number 10, put yourself in charge.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because I think sometimes we can talk ourselves out of or into certain things, looking for other people to sign off on it, to validate it, looking for inclusiveness, like looking for everyone to see it the way you see it. And that may not always be the case. But the achievements are under your control. Whatever you set for yourself is under your control. It's really you against yourself. You are competing against yourself, you versus you. Like coming out being the best version of you versus the old version of you. So it really is you versus you. So for me, pitting yourself putting yourself in control is an important part of the goal.
Yeah, we're talking about making your resolutions, right? And so for your second person resolutions, right? You have to be in charge because it's your resolution. You don't have to necessarily submit it to other folks. You don't necessarily have to check in. Now there is a time and place to get wisdom and to get counsel, but even at that time and place, it's still for you to drive down this road and for you to drive and to operate this machine so that you can get your goals accomplished.
And I think this is interesting. I thought this was interesting in part of the article. It says having a strong sense of control over your life is necessary to stick to your plans. Those who blame everyone and everything apart from themselves will not have the resources needed to change.
Boom.
If you're always looking to blame someone else or something, or she just go because this didn't happen, or so and so didn't do this, or I didn't have what I needed, you'll never get to it. You have to be able to look at the glass half full.
Yeah.
Yes, these things might be a real factor in your life, but can you look at it from a different perspective? I know recently we had an experience where we were very focused on having resources. Okay, we need resources to do this, we need resources to do that. And someone that we aligned ourselves with came up with just a really quick idea. Hey, why don't y'all do this? And
changed our life.
Changed everything. I mean, literally things just within a matter of a day.
Yeah.
I mean, things just start coming into. I was like, oh my God, that was really simple. I mean, and we probably could have thought of that on our own had we not been focused on everything else. But you're human, right? You're human, so you're looking at stuff from the perspective that you're looking at it. Until sometimes you invite others in to weigh in on a situation.
You said something that sparked. Talk about the glass maybe half full or half empty. It's all about perspective when you're setting your goals. Even if you look at the glass as half empty, just know that it can be refreshed with even more stuff so it can be full again.
And that's definitely important if you're a person with vision and you have something that you want to add to. And for that reason, this portion of the show is sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach the thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Again, that number is 832-772-7789 or email us at advertise@thesphere.tv.
We'll get your product placement handled. You hear me?
Or your advertising needs.
There it is.
Now, no, seriously though, I wanted to. I know we spent a little bit more time on this than we thought we would, but I thought it was important because again, we hear this all the time about resolutions and about how what I'm doing, and we haven't had this conversation. So, do you have any resolutions for the new year? Have you thought about what you want to change or improve?
My biggest one is to continue to embrace growth.
Okay.
And that seems open-ended and wide because it is. Because I'm such a vision caster and want to get things done, and I'm such a visionary. Growth, when you look at growth from a cellular level, from a biological level, it's cells splitting. It's
Here we
painful.
Go. Bill Nye the Science Guy in the building.
Listen, no. Seriously, mitosis and meiosis, they're cells splitting, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes that splitting, like from a plant has a cell membrane and a cell wall, so the cell wall has to break in order for the cells to split, right? The cell membrane has to sever, and so that
I feel like
growth.
This is gonna get deep. Go.
No, it is, but so that growth component can be painful. It can be difficult, even with a seed, right? If you slow down the germination of a seed and you look at it, it explodes.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's a powerful dynamic process when it comes to growth, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. And I think this year I was resistant to a lot of it, even though I grew. I was going kicking and screaming, and so I just want to be a bit more willing to embrace the growth, and also don't dumb down my dopeness.
Okay.
People may think that that I don't, but I really do. Because I'm always worried about trying to look up like braggadocious or anything like that. But if God has given you a skill set, you have to intelligently and ethically and empathetically let people know what it is you have going on and display what it is that you have. And I just, there are so many gifts and talents that I think that we've been given, you and I have been given, and we just kind of chill on and we don't really broadcast like that. But I think there's a time and a place for that.
Absolutely. And I will say this. So just for what you just said, your resolution, I want to applaud you. Yes, this has been an interesting, challenging year for you. Man. And you mentioned kicking and screaming or whatever, but a win is a win. So even if you made it in the fourth quarter, you're still winning.
Facts.
I mean, I just want you to give yourself credit for that.
I appreciate it.
Because it has been a challenging year. So straight up credit for that. I'm working
on an article about how challenging it is. I can't wait till y'all read it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, but this is good though. My resolutions, do I have any? I haven't really put a lot of thought into it, but I did say that I was going to make 2019 not necessarily about me, but a year about me. Mm-hmm. Really focus on things that I really want to do. A lot of things I always say I want to do, but for whatever reason, that always gets put to the back burner. There's a lot of things happening around me, and I don't tend to intentionally push myself forward. Not because I don't think I'm important. I absolutely think I'm important. But I have resolved or reside. How did they say it? How did they say it?
I don't forget.
I can't even say it because it seems so backwards. But
to Bill Russell, he gave us some wisdom along. What did he say?
I resign within myself.
Yeah, I think it's resign within myself.
And it just sounds weird to me, but I have resolved within myself.
That's really what he was trying to say.
Right. Resolve within myself that I am going to take every opportunity and do everything I need to do to let people know who the heck I am. Mm-hmm. Because the Modern Day Cindy is not just a name. It is a person. It is a brand. And I'm not, you ain't
one of these average chicks. I'm just going to let people know.
I am definitely, I'm definitely not average. I'm definitely not average, but I have taken a back seat on some things, but it's time for me to, take my place on my throne.
And it's time for you to take your place on your throne. 2018 is almost over, but that does not mean you still can't ascend and sit on your throne. So what? Stuff didn't get done.
So what? It didn't
you have a few more days to plan for 2019, but you, like Kira said, you have a few more days left in this year to get things done.
Listen,
you never know what could happen.
Somebody might throw the...
Yeah,
you might win the game.
In the twinkling of an eye, things happen, man. Right,
absolutely.
And so you just never. All it takes is that one yes. All it takes is that one handshake. All it takes is that one high five.
One handshake, bruh.
All it takes. That's all it takes. So just you guys be positive. Stay up, man, and just look towards the hills from which comes your help.
For sure. And I'm just so excited to hear all the feedback about how 2019 is shaping up for everybody next year. I'm excited to hear about everyone's game win, the fourth quarter, last seconds for 2018. I'm almost positive we'll have some good reports coming from our desk over here.
Yeah.
So until then, we are wishing you a happy new year.
Yes, we are. I am your man, Kalen Laws, a.k.a. Senior Wapo. Do me a favor. Let us know everything that you have going on. Share with us. DM me, tweet me at Senior Wapo 713. That's SENORGUAP 713, and I'll be sure to connect with you.
And you can follow me on Instagram at The Modern Day Cindy. That's Cindy with an I, not a Y. And we'll be seeing you soon.